All right, Kris, got to ask you about Connor McDavid. Was there almost a sense of relief when you heard it was 2 to 3 weeks, knowing that it could have potentially been longer given the state?
Absolutely. You never know what the outcome was going to be and how long. Obviously, you don't want to miss him for any time, but you think about what it could have been. Yeah, I guess we're lucky to it's as short as it is.
What challenges are posed for this group without the best player in the world?
Well, absolutely. There's challenges of not having the best player, a point producer and, somebody who gets, 1.5, 2 points a game. That'll make an impact on our team. I think it's a great opportunity for everyone to step up and play. Just as a player, it's often hard to get into a rhythm of flow for those players. Now when you're missing somebody who's playing, about 22 minutes a night, there's a lot more rhythm flow for those third, fourth line guys and able for them to feel good about themselves and feel part of the game.
Go ahead.
I was just going to say, Kris, when it comes to those players stepping up, I know you mentioned that opportunity after the game in Columbus for them to be able to do that, but is that something that you could empower them with, or is that something that they naturally have to just...
Well, absolutely. That's the players have to see the opportunity that they have and know that there's a time for them to step up. As for the coach, there's got to be some communication on what their role is going to be and how they can help the team. And I think the coach and the player have to work together and through that communication. But ultimately, it's the player stepping up and playing to their potential.
Based off line rushes, it looks like Noah Philp will be making his NHL debut tomorrow. How do you describe the journey for number 48 from last year, taking the year off, making an impression at camp, and now getting the call-up?
Well, it's very a great story for what he's gone through and coming back and through training camp, had an excellent camp, really impressed right through all the practices and the games that he played. For him to get the call-up and the opportunity to play, it feels good for, not only coaching staff, the players, anybody who's involved in following him. So, well-deserved for him.
What are the assets that he's going to bring to this team on that fourth line?
Well, here's a guy that's, fairly big. Not that he's, overpowering, but he is a bigger body, which is helpful for our team. A guy that covers a lot of space with his speed and his size, as I mentioned, but a guy that's pretty good puck mover. He can make subtle plays and move it up, but I think with our team we can add a little more speed and tenacity to our team, and hopefully he can bring some of that to it.
Caggiula was also called up. Can you maybe speak on the organization's decision of calling up 2 forwards as opposed to 1, because we know you've been carrying 12 on?
Yeah, no, it's it's difficult with 12 forwards, and we believe in our 12 forwards, but through a long season, we knew that there was going to be times where there's going to be some interchange with our lineup. And, Drake had an excellent training camp. I don't think he was getting enough recognition about how well he played. Here's a guy that's has a lot of NHL experience. And I know talking to him, he came to camp just putting it all out there. He knew this is nothing to lose, and I really appreciated what he brought, and I thought he had a heck of a exhibition. He showed very strong in the exhibition games, and there's numerous games where he could have multiple goals, and it just wasn't going in for him. And we've seen a couple of those guys with our team right now in the regular season who've kind of in a little snake bin right now, but it's a good opportunity for him also.
How much was it a priority for you guys to get those power play touches to begin the practice here today to hopefully get that back on track?
Yeah, well, obviously without Connor, there's going to be some changes to what our personnel is and what the goal is or the strategy. So I think it's just have some them getting familiar with each other. And, it's always difficult in practice, whether you're doing a 5-on-0 or even 5-on-4, because when it's in practice, it's guys are reluctant to shoot because they don't want to hurt anybody. There's not one-timers because you don't want to be ripping them off ankles. And so it's not game situation, but they're trying to get familiar with each other.